It's got a bow in it. You know how the tree was leaning, so the bow is kind of going down now. It really ain't much of a bow, just I guess on this end right here. But it was kind of to the side, and I jerked it one time, and kind of the weight of the bow there just made it land right in place. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it would have been cool if actually...
Yeah, I was right here. I was watching it happen.
Yeah, it would have been cool if I actually turned the camera on and recorded me jerking it, but I just didn't even think about...
You jerking it?
I really didn't even think about grabbing the camera and turning it on. I was just kind of so busy pulling these logs around and getting stuff out of the way and situated, and I hooked it up and turned it. And then Holly was like, wow, that was cool. And I was like, yeah, too bad I didn't turn the camera on before I did that. But let's get it in. That'll be 6. I think we're just gonna start right there in the middle at 6. I'm gonna bring us a level. All right, there's our line. It's gonna be our first cut. So there's 2, 4. So we should get 4 out of this pretty easy, I would say. If we cut it right. If we do a good job cutting this straight, we should be able to get 4 out of this. The awesome thing about this trick here that I'm doing, oh gosh, I need to cut that briar down too. So we're looking at 16 here, and there's 8 right in the middle. There's a dot right in the middle. So the thing about this trick here, by using a level, I am making this exactly the same level as that other line on the other side. So as I start cutting this with that line going across, I'm gonna match up with that line, then I have a straight board going across, in theory. I've done this quite a few times, and it does work out quite nice. As long as you hold the chainsaw level through your whole cut. The more sturdy and level you hold the chainsaw, the more nice and straight your line's gonna be. There we go. So that line should be perfectly in the middle, just like this one. On that side, both of them are level. So as long as I keep that chainsaw up and down with this line, and keep it the same level all the way across, I should hit that line exactly level on that side. Right in the center there. So that's the idea right here. We have this perfectly level line here, right in the center. And then we have the chalk line going all the way across to the other perfectly level line on the other side. As long as I keep the saw at this level with the same level with the line, and follow this line perfectly all the way across to the other line, as I'm keeping it level, we should get a perfectly straight board. In the past, what I've done when freehanding these beams like this, I have tied my line on the back of the log, eyeballed it, and kept my bar the same level, like parallel with that line, as I'm cutting back and forth. This time, what I've done is I've actually added a level on the back of my saw here. So hopefully, you know, when I'm right here, I can kind of eyeball where I'm at with the line. But once I get in the middle and I don't have any reference or anything to compare my levelness with, I can kind of look down on this and make sure that I have my level bubble right where I need it. It's gonna help me stay as level as possible. Still not gonna be perfect, but that's what we're doing. Notice here my line is gonna go a little off here. I'm noticing this is perfectly level. The line is, but it's when I have this level, obviously it's not, this isn't exactly the same as the levelness of my bar. It's off a little bit, but I'm still gonna rely on this bubble because when I get to the center, that's all I'm gonna have to rely on is my level bubble. So I'm actually not going to go off of this line perfectly. I'm just using that as my starting point. After I finish this cut all the way across, I'm gonna have to use this line as my main line, and I'm not gonna rely on this level line because I am now going off of this, if that makes sense. The saw is a lifesaver. That made freehanding this just so much easier. I was way more confident than I've ever been. I didn't feel like I was guessing. I felt like I was just on the money the whole time. I feel like I freehanded this 24-footer probably just as fast as I was cutting the 16-footers in the SawMill. I think this is I think I love this. I think I could get very good at this. I think it would actually be easier on the saw than actually winding it and running it so hard through that SawMill. This just removed the tree so much nicer. Look at these saw chips compared to, this is saw chips in the SawMill. It's not even chips, it's really just dust. The only reason it's such big dust is because it's wet from the rain. compared to this freehanding. Now, wouldn't you much rather have that left over? So that's a good point right there. That's just a bonus from freehanding. It looks to me like it came out amazingly straight. The reason I didn't go all the way through is because I want to start my other boards first. I want to cut my other boards all at the same time. I want to mill this whole tree at the same time. So I'm leaving this bottom here just to hold the actual log together. And then as I'm cutting these, I'm gonna let the outside ones fall off first, and then I'll go accordingly. I'm gonna go from outside, drop those off, outside, drop those off, then the two centers, split them in half. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it'll make it a lot easier while the log is whole and sitting in its place. Another cool thing is this is exactly 2 inches wide. So that's exactly how wide I want my beams, 2 inches wide. That's why I don't need this line anymore. It looks like on this side it did go a little closer to the line than the other side. It just looks so perfectly straight. I don't see where anything went wrong at all. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna put this on the inside mark right there. We're gonna mark this like this. There, and that'll be our second board, or our first board. And then we'll go over here, line it up to that hole where we cut, because that's where we want it. And bam. There's 2 boards right there. We should get 4 beams out of this pretty easily. And then we'll have these outside, the round, the faces cut off, in this case the sides. But that's what's up. I'm gonna start cutting another board. Do the other side just like this so I know where I'm starting. I'll chalk my lines and do the exact same thing again. The bubble on the saw was level with this cut right here and not that line. So now when we cut this, our bubble should match up perfectly with this line, and we should have this perfect, hopefully real close to perfect beam right here. So now I'm gonna chalk my line from this top of this line to the top of that line on that side, and do exactly what we just did on this one. Cut another one. Like, that looks amazing. Wow. I mean, that just looks too good. Too good to be free-handed. Ah. Very straight. Very nice. Chalk our line over here and cut this side. I kind of like being on the left of the cut. We start from the other end and come this way this time. Down to an angle a little bit there, so it's actually going to be wider on one side, but I guess that's all right. I mean, we're really only going to get one more out of this anyway because the other side is narrower, so this looks like we have a lot of room, but we really don't. The bottom of this one kind of goes out a tad bit too, but that's fine with me. Like snow.
I know, look at all this sawdust. Dang!
That's fatwood!
You realize that's fatwood?
Yeah, that's way nicer than the sawmill.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine making some fire starters out of that?
That is a fire starter. You let that dry.
Why don't we put that in bags before it gets all messed up?
You hit that with one of them flint steels, that'll fire right up. That is fatwood
we
right
should
there.
Get a Ziploc bag, Elion.
Yeah.
A garbage bag.
That smells so good.
Get a trash bag and put it in there. Well, you don't have to do it now. I'm about to start cutting again, but
I just be afraid of it getting all rained on and mushy and messed
yeah,
up.
that's what I mean. You need to definitely get it before it rains.
Yeah,
Maybe
right when you said that, I was like, all right.
We'll come back out here and get some before it rains.
I love the way it smells. Oh my gosh, it smells so nice.
Ta-da!
You can smell that fuel in it. That's cool.
All right, we got our edges marked for our other two boards, which really we have those cut. We just have to cut the faces off of them, the round fronts off of them, sides in this case. And here's the fat end, quite a bit bigger on this end. We'll see how thick they are once we cut them off. But I did my chalk line over here, visible enough to freehand this cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one, and this one I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut it all the way off. I ended up a little off on that edge, but it's the inside that counts. It's straight and flat. That outer edge, it kind of went off a little, but I think that was right at the end though. I couldn't be happier at all. Now that is just amazing. How I went from that end to this end to cut these off. I think I'm gonna do that with all 4 of these, all 3 of those cuts. I would really like to start at one end, work myself on all 3 cuts, to start with this cut, go to a certain point, start with this cut, go to a certain point, so on, and just keep going back and forth until I get to this point at the end here where I have all 4 of them kind of still hanging on, but keep cutting towards the end and just kind of release them one at a time all together. So one will fall, the other fall, and the other 2 will fall. Hopefully it works out like that. I'd like to do it like that just to get them all here. That way the log never tips over. Nothing happens. I don't want my log to shift at all until I get to the very last bit. And then if it kind of moves or whatever, I can still just do the little bit of cut that I have left. So if that makes any sense, it would just save me a lot of trouble if these don't tip over. I can't be happier. I could not be happier. This is just beautiful. These beams are just amazingly beautiful. I love them. And I am looking forward to these 3 last cuts. It is 7:30 and I'm very thirsty, and man, my back is tired from holding that saw for so long. I don't even know how long I've been running the saw now. I'm guessing for a good 5 hours or more straight, just cutting. So I really haven't even had a break besides just grabbing something to drink. And it's about to get dark here, I guess. I don't know, I might have 2 hours left. So I'm gonna go sit down for a few minutes, get me something to drink, cool off, maybe sit in front of the fan for a little bit. Then I'm gonna refuel and oil this thing and see if we can get these 3 cuts done tonight. But I think we're going to see fireworks in a couple hours. I think the fireworks are 9:30 or 10 up at the gas station. So we definitely want to go watch those. So I don't know if I'm gonna make it or not. I'm gonna try. But I also need a shower before I go too. So dang it. I might end up finishing these cuts in the morning. All right, so I decided I really want to get this done and take Elion and Holly to go see some fireworks. So I decided to skip the fan break, see if we can get this done. But I did grab me some fruit punch. Oh, MS 310 up. Big shout out to Country Girl. This is my my freehand milling saw right here. And Country Girl helped me get it. Pretty cool used saw I seen on Marketplace. And I decided to run and get it. It's actually been a while, but I haven't used it much because I was saving it for just this, doing some freehanding. And wow, has it not been freaking awesome. It has really ripped through this tree. Literally. Let's get it in. We ain't playing today. We're gonna move these back here where we're at. Spread these out. Got one more over here somewhere. Here we go. You can tell I kind of cut the end of that one off. All right, we made it. Almost halfway. Not bad. Well done. It's about 8:22. I heard the fireworks are at 9. So I got to get it together quick. And anyway, we made it to about where the saw is on all 3. So we are like more than 3/4 of the way there. I mean, we are like there. I cut about to here on this one. And as you can see, look at this. I done hit the dirt so many times that this thing is just super dull. I mean, it's just throwing just dust compared to what it was throwing. This right here. So I've hit the dirt, I think few too many times. And I mean, I have cut, oh my gosh, so much freaking wood with this chain. So they look okay. So I don't think I hit any dirt too bad or anything hard. I think they're just super dull. So I definitely need to sharpen these things up. Oh dang, I think my dang blower's running out of gas too. Shit. The saw ran out of gas and the dang blower ran out of gas. I gotta fill that thing up, blow this off real quick. I gotta go if we're gonna catch these fireworks. First thing tomorrow, we are gonna come finish this up and lay these things out. I can't wait to see these dang 4 beams here. 24 footers, man, I can't wait. I really wanted to finish this tonight, but I gotta hurry up. I don't even know if I got time for a shower. We made it. I didn't get me no shower though, but there's a bunch of dang people out here waiting, ready to see some fireworks. Over here hanging out with some neighbor friends, waiting for it to start. I don't know what they just ran after. They went after something in the woods. We back. And we super sharp. And we fueled and oiled. Ready to finish this little bit we got left here. From here, this one about here to here. Yesterday I got to right here. I was trying to get to these other wedges here, and it was so dull it would just not even cut anymore. We should have 4 beautiful beams today. Let's crank her up and get it in. of sucks about this part right here is actually touching the ground. Because I just ran freshly sharpened chain, I just ran it right through the dirt. So that kind of sucks. But look at that. And look at that. We got boardage. Big heavy dudes. Put that there. All right, we'll see how that works out. Oh my God, and heavy. Oh. This is gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard work framing with these freaking heavy things. Man. Oh, gosh. Wow. All right, let me get some dividers. Need some of my spacers put in here. Ha. Wow. That is beautiful. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's some heavy stuff right there. That is very, very heavy. Wow. It's got me questioning my life now. This definitely got me questioning my life decisions right now. But where there's a will, there's a way, right? That's what I've always said. All right, you're leaning a little bit, but I think that'll be okay though. That is way off level. I think that's fine. I think that's gonna be okay. That ain't even touching there. Beautiful. Wow. I couldn't be happier with these cuts. Not bad for some freehanding. Wow. Not bad. Wow. Dang right. Oh, God. Don't fall. All right, these things are leaning like crazy. It is what it is. They'll be fine for now. Them leaning isn't gonna harm them. And anyway, they're still laying pretty flat. We got spacers in between them, so they're getting plenty of airflow. They're not gonna be here for too long anyway. I'm not even gonna guess how long of a time limit, but it ain't gonna be too long. I need to paint these ends with some tar, and I need to work out some tarps to cover these up just in case it rains. I do not want these getting rained on. So I gotta find something kind of like these. I used 2 tarps on that one, 1 tarp on that one. All right, we got our ends painted with some roofing tar, both sides. So hopefully that's gonna stop these things from splitting. I brought this tarp over here, a couple old pieces that are kind of cut up, but hey, that's what we need. Definitely want some dividers holding this tarp up off of this thing. That way air will get in between the tarp and the wood when it's real hot and the wood sweating. Have a little bit of airflow under there. Alright. Fold this in half. Yeah. It ought to hold it down good enough, keep it dry for a while. Maybe about a week, because now it is time to start focusing on our posts, our poles that we're going to be using. We're going to frame this building up pretty much like a pole barn, and then but this pole barn is going to be framed up with a floor in it, and those are going to be used for the floor. All 4 of those are going to I need to kind of draw it up and show y'all sometime what I'm picturing. I need to like draw up the floor plan of this thing. We have these 4 beams that are going to go 24 foot. So one is going to be the full length of the front of the porch, 24 foot. And then another one is going to go from the back of the cabin to the front of the porch on one side. Then the same on the other side, from the back of the cabin to the front of the porch. And then another one on the outside of the porch, going long ways. Or maybe the 4th one, I could use that in the rear of the cabin to hold a bunch of weight. Really, I could really use 1, 2, 3, 4. I could really use 5 of them. So it wouldn't hurt to have them, but I'm not gonna go all out. Actually, I could use, 5. But there's just different ways that I could use them. So I have to think about which ways I want to use them, and then where do I want to use my 16 footers and my 8 footers. I want to use these solid beams on the parts that are going to be supporting the most weight. So yeah, there's different ways I could use those. So that's one thing that I'm really gonna have to make up my plan out and make my mind up. But then we have these 16 footers. We have 7 of them. So that's gonna be, I'll use them 7 beams in my cabin, the floor as the floor joist in the center. So yeah, I really got to work this out. But what I was really saying is I have to start focusing on my poles. So now I'm gonna have to start cutting straight edges on my poles, and yeah, so that's gonna be coming up next very shortly. We're gonna be messing with these poles and digging holes, but this is coming together. We have pretty much what we need to get started and to start building foundation right here.